Welcome out to Cult Classics and Comedians. My name's Jamie Maxfield. I want to welcome you out to our very first episode. I've got several comedians with me today. I want to do some quick introductions. Over here's Jason Harvey, Melissa Merlot.
Thanks for having me here.
And then, of course, we had a no-show today, and you're going to get stuck with this guy, Mr. Ben Fuller.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Ben.
Hi.
Today we're going to be talking about this great cult classic called Anvil, The Story of Anvil. It's a documentary film about a heavy metal band, and I find it very fitting that we're talking about it on this specific episode and with comedians because it really hits home. Watching this was kind of depressing for comedians that are trying to make a living at doing comedy. So we could draw a lot of parallels to our lives in this one. Basically, it just follows this rock band that was pretty hot back in the day. They never fully make it. They're always kind of the opening band for a lot of these heavy metal bands, and they keep trying. And now they're in their 50s, and they're still trying. It just tracks them through the course of a year. They go on a tour, shows a couple of good gigs, and then some really shitty gigs that these comedians here have all been part of as well. And then it follows them through, and then at the end, they have one good gig, kind of just signs it off for them, and it's a good film. Really liked it. Really loved it. Jason, what did you think?
I was completely surprised by the movie. I didn't think I would like it. I had seen the case before, and I thought it was basically a ripoff of Spinal Tap. I didn't know it was real. These guys are actually really good. They're talented. They're just old. Like, that was it. It's just like...
I take a little bit of offense because they're the same age as I am.
Yeah.
But having said that, I have an okay job, a day job.
Well, they had day jobs too. That was one of the things I thought was really endearing is it shows him delivering children's meals during the day, and then he's talking about his band at night. They just keep playing music no matter what.
Well, going back to what you said about you thought it was a fake documentary. What I love about it is, I mean, it's real, right? It's really real. In the post-credits, they're saying that they finally got €100 out of it.
Instead of just the goulash, because they tried to give him dinner instead of paying him.
But the thing that I love about the movie is, first off, it's real, and I don't think any of it was staged.
No.
But at the same time, it's really meta. There's a scene when they're in that little diner talking about their early days, and then they talk about one of the first songs they wrote together, which was Hang Thumb. Yeah. And then they started singing it, and that's like a scene exactly out of This Is Spinal Tap.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was real.
And that's the whole thing, too, because at the end of the movie, they go to Japan. That's exactly what Spinal Tap does at the end of the movie, too. Documentaries are hard for me to watch, because at some point they just get so... pat myself on the back, look what I'm doing, and this never got that way at all. I cared about them. Yeah, I was like, I'm buying some albums. I'm buying albums.
I would get teary-eyed when they would fight. Like the singer and the drummer, I was like, don't fight.
Come on, Lips.
You love
Come on,
Lips.
Lips.
So much.
That was hilarious because Melissa posted on our Facebook group when we were talking about doing this episode. He says, just out of nowhere, she just posted, "I hate when the band members fight."
That's because I was watching it. I was so sad. I was like, don't yell at each other.
Well, and that's amazing though when you think about it too, because how many bands just break up over something simple like that?
Yeah, little
and
ego
they're like, I
fight
will
and they're
tear
done.
your head off.
Well,
but they were together
but then they're
for
like,
like
we're
30
sticking
years.
it. Yeah.
Like they started when they were like 14.
Well, and
like
one person
singer
made
and drummer.
made a comment about that. Like, most bands can't stay together for a couple of years, and they've been doing it for 30 years.
Even just having a friendship that long is
exactly.
incredible. You know? Like,
well, and especially in a creative outlet when you're both like, we're doing this. No, we're doing this.
Yeah, when you're gonna butt heads a lot over what you're making.
It was interesting that their wives were super supportive, which kind of amazed me.
But
it was the drummer's sister
who was not.
But then Lip's sister is the one that...
That's what I was
gave
just
them the
going to say,
money
where
to
she's
do
like,
the
I'm
album.
happy to see him, I want to see him succeed.
And that's why
It
it was so real. I mean, there was, not surreal, but it was surreal in a sense, but it was so real because...
That's how it really happens.
I kept on waiting because we're trained by story structure for things to happen a certain way.
Yeah.
And I was waiting for the producer who showed up to be kind of a stereotype.
Yeah.
You know, who's like, oh, come on out, but I'm going to charge you a ton of money.
Yeah,
Which is kind of the way it started to go. But in the end, he kind of mediated for them.
Yeah.
And he was really caring. He really
he seemed like
cared
a
for
good
those
guy.
guys.
He goes, hey, if this thing doesn't sell at all, at least we've made a great
Yeah.
album.
Yeah, he
You
really
know,
cared.
you've got, we're going to give you the resources that you need to make this album, and you've got a great album. The problem, which I kind of draw a lot of parallels to, is like everybody that gets into any kind of entertainment industry, you have a small window. You have juice for only so long.
Yeah.
Right? Like when I was watching these guys, I'm like, you guys are the greatest people at making fanny packs. Back in the 80s, you would have sold this
Yeah, you'd
out
be
of
billionaires. Yeah.
but nobody buys fanny packs anymore, so
Yeah.
nobody's gonna pick you up.
Well, and that was what was cool about the end when they had that giant show in Japan, and they
Yeah.
thought it was going to be horrible because they had to go on at like 11:30 a.m. or something.
Yeah, like
That-
before.
Yeah,
my
they were
heart
first
sank
act.
a
They were at
little.
the
I was
first-
like,
they were
oh,
the first
no.
act.
Yeah, they were the first act that day. And they're like,
And you can
nobody's
hear
gonna
it.
be here.
You can hear it in their voice that they've done so many gigs that were in so many big areas.
And then like 5
And like,
people are there.
they show that one stadium that seats like 10,000 people, and like only 150 people show up to the show.
So painful.
And it's like, I've been there.
I've put on so many
been-
shows where nobody showed up.
Yeah.
I did it for 4 years, once a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. I don't know what
I
he's
was
talking
there.
about.
I was there. I showed up, man.
Well, the talent.
can.
The talent.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they.
The talent was the audience.
Somebody wants to give me time. Okay, I'll be there.
Yeah, we'll be there no matter what. You give us stage time.
Yeah.
Having said that, the ending, I loved the movie.
Yeah.
I didn't care a ton for the ending. I thought it was a little pat.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's
I think they were trying to
artifice
push
kind
a
of
happy ending.
intruding onto that. People heard, oh, somebody's doing a documentary about this band Anvil. Let's give them a happy
Get them,
ending.
yeah.
I don't know if the filmmakers said it. Probably not, but it felt a little pat and it felt a little premeditated. So I struggled a little bit with that. I don't know
Yeah.
how real it was.
I think they have a hard time though trying to figure out how to end a show like that,
Yeah.
right? Because you can end it, you want to end it on an uplift, with
Yeah.
some kind of message, which they had. They were just standing in the circle at the end, and they're in Japan. They're doing things that nobody else does, right? Which, and then they kind of just talk about, hey, we've had a great run. This has been awesome. We love doing this.
And then there's a lifetime
yeah.
that keeps them together.
They kind of end on a high note,
Yeah.
and it wraps it up. Any final thoughts on the show?
People should definitely watch it because I think it's depressingly inspiring.
They
It's
should,
really inspiring.
They should go into it knowing that it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I got that. I mean, immediately from it, like, oh, this isn't a mockumentary at all. Like, this is just, if it was,
Painfully
it would have been
real.
funny. Yeah, it would have been
Yeah.
funny had it been a mockumentary, and it was just like,
It's a great movie.
oh yeah, it was fun.
I think we'd all recommend it. I think it was
Yeah,
a
absolutely.
great film. Melissa, how can people follow you?
MelissaMerlot.com, and I'm also on the podcast, The Left Show.
Jason?
Facebook, Jason Harvey. I'm on Twitter at Jason_Harvey. And then I have 2 podcasts that you can check out. Stupid Questions with Jason Harvey on the Earhole Media Network. And then also Sketch Sandwich with my co-host.
We should be telling that.
Oh, Sketch Sandwich with my co-host Natasha Maurer.
And Ben?
Channel 801, which is monthly at Matagogo in Salt Lake. jobfaust.wordpress.com. It's my blog that I never update. And that's about it. You don't want to follow me.
And you can always follow me, Jamie Maxfield, or Jamie.Maxfield at Twitter. And then, of course, I'm on Facebook. Just look me up there, and then look for any of these comedians that doing shows in the future.
Excellent.